Hi, I'm Tore, and this is the amazingly cool shaker vibrato from TC Electronic. Before we start getting into the pedal, let's just clarify what is vibrato and what is tremolo, because those two things are often mixed up. Now, vibrato is the same thing that a guitar player or a singer does when they vibrate the pitch up and down while singing or holding a note. Something like this. So vibrato is moving the pitch up and down. Tremolo, on the other hand, is moving the volume up and down. I can't really do that, but I can sort of simulate it by doing this with my volume pot. So, just to clarify, the shaker pedal is a vibrato, so it moves the pitch up and down. So with that cleared, let's get into and see what this baby can do. The shaker vibrato has 4 knobs that you can control. It's the speed, depth and tone, and then we have a 4th one called the rise time, and I'll get into that a little later in the presentation. So let's check out the speed knob first. The speed knob controls how fast the pitch modulation is. So let's check it out at the slowest setting. You'll probably be able to notice a slight warble in the speed, but let's increase it a bit just so we can hear the difference. Now it's more pronounced. And at the 12 o'clock, (3 o'clock), and all the way up. As you can tell, shaker vibrato has a wide range of the speed knob that allows you to go from anywhere from subtle vibrato effects to almost stuttering ray gun type sounds. The depth knob controls how wide the vibrato is, so that's the difference between your subtle bluesy type vibrato or your exaggerated heavy metal Yngwie style vibrato. Something like this. Subtle and wide. So let's hear how that sounds on the pedal. Here's a subtle, almost imperceivable vibrato. It just adds a little bit of life to the sound. Let's increase it a bit for a more dramatic effect. And even more depth. And all the way up. The tone control on shaker vibrato affects the entire signal. That's because a vibrato effect is a 100% effect, meaning that the entire signal, the entire guitar signal, is affected when the pedal is on. So cranking the tone control will give you a neutral sound, and decreasing it will give you a darker, increasingly darker sound. So let's check this out. And now at 12 o'clock for a slightly more mellow sound. And let's try rolling the tone all the way back just to see how that sounds. As you can probably tell, the tone control is very effective, and that gives you a wide range of different sounds you can use in your playing. Last but not least, we have the rise time. And the rise time controls how fast the effect fades in. One of the things vibratos are sometimes used for is to get Leslie type sounds. And a common thing about Leslie speakers with the physical moving horns is that it actually takes a little time before the horn gets up to speed. And we decided to use the rise time to kind of simulate the same effect. So the rise time controls how fast or how long it goes before the effect actually kicks into the full amount, so it'll gradually rise in over time. This first example is with 0 rise time. This means that the effects kick in right away. Now I increased the rise time quite a bit, so you'll be able to notice how the effect gradually fades in over time. Last but not least, I cranked the rise time and I cranked the depth control as well, so now you'll really be able to tell how the effect fades in. On top of the 4 pots that gives you a wide variety of sounds to choose from, we also have a toggle switch that lets you select between 3 different vibrato modes. So in the top position we have the regular vibrato mode, and this is what you've heard in the example so far. And if we turn the toggle all the way down, we have latch mode. In latch mode, the vibrato effect is only active as long as you hold down the foot switch like this. Latch mode is a great way to get a little bit of expression into your playing. So you basically use the pedal in a whole nother way. You just punch it in when you want to accentuate a note, or you want to get a slight vibrato-like warble to your chords. So let's try a few different examples using the latch mode. With the latch mode, I can add vibrato to just a single note or a chord, kind of like what you do with a vibrato arm or something like that, to give you these little embellishments to your playing. I can also use the latch mode to add totally over-the-top vibrato to just a single note in a solo, for example. The middle position on a toggle switch is TonePrint. Now what is a TonePrint? Well, with simple stump boxes like these, a lot of decisions have been made by the designers and the engineers beforehand. So there's a ton of parameters inside the pedal that you can't really get to. But what we've done is that we've asked a bunch of the greatest guitar players in the world to make their perfect version of the pedal. So they get to decide everything about how the pedals sound, how the pots react, every single thing that makes up the pedal, what it is and how it sounds. And what we've done is that we made those tone prints downloadable, so you can actually upload them into your pedal on the tone print setting, and you can basically get the sound of your favorite guitar players straight into the pedal. On top of all the great artist tone prints, there's also a bunch of different TC tone prints that are variations of how the pedal can sound, with a lot of the background parameters changed. And of course, Shaker Vibrato comes with one of those tone prints inside the pedal right away. So the tone print that is inside Shaker Vibrato when you get it is made in a way so that it sounds even more Leslie-like. So let's hear how it sounds and then compare it to the regular vibrato. As you can probably tell from the examples, there's a ton of different cool sounds with Shaker Vibrato. And with the whole tone print concept and all the great artists that contributed to this, there's pretty much unlimited tonal options and possibilities with the pedal. So on top of all these great sounds, the pedal features true bypass, it runs off a 9-volt battery, and there's a real easy way to get to the battery on the back side here. With the unique one-screw battery access, I can quickly remove the backside and get to the battery down here. There's also a toggle or a dip switch up here that lets you select between a true bypass or buffered bypass mode if you prefer that. It's also important to note that the pedal works in a line level loop and can of course run off a 9 volt battery or from a 9 volt DC supply. So let's check out some of the different cool sounds you can get with the vibrato and kind of figure out how you can use it in your music. In this example, I'm using a slightly slower vibrato to get a little bit of edge and movement to my chord playing. You can use a faster vibrato setting to emulate kind of old school mellow tone, typically Beatles kind of sounds. In this example, I'm using a very slow vibrato with increased depth to give me almost a chorus-like sound. Now I'm going to use the vibrato to give me a Leslie type sound with a fast speed and back the depth up quite a bit. Vibrato also works great with lead guitar, giving you a slightly wobbly, nervous type of feel.